Hey YouTube, Sarek here, and Ghost from the Past was released last week, and whilst there's been a lot of talk about the set not being great, there are still some reprints there that are really good for us budget players who play on with less money available to us. So I'm going to go through them, and we're going to start with an honourable mention. So one of my most popular videos on my channel is my Orcus deck profile, and my honourable mention goes to Orchestrated Return. Now here I've got my copy from Soul Fusion because I didn't pull any Orchestrated Returns in my Ghosts from the Past, but this is a really good draw 2 card for your Orcus strategies. It helps you get nightmares out of your hand, or wands out of your hand, and draw 2 cards. It's very, very simple, very, very useful card. It was getting quite expensive for a deck that doesn't do a whole lot in the meta, even with cards like Gearsu, so that's why it's my honourable mention, because it's quite restrictive and only really sees any play in Orcus. Then, my number 5 on my list of top budget reprints is Danger Thunderbird. This was quite a random reprint in the set. It would have been nice to see Bigfoot and possibly Tsushinoko as well as the other more expensive Dangers, but this was creeping up to around £8 a copy and is now obviously very, very cheap thanks to the reprint. It's 2800 body, it's a Danger, you know what Dangers do, and this one's discard effect is to destroy a set card your opponent controls. So it's much better going second, but it's still a very useful card to have available. It goes in decks like Gren Marju, so the Danger variant of that, or just other Danger or potentially rank 8 focused dark decks. Next we have another favourite card, Phantom Knight's Fogblade. Again, this was creeping up. It wasn't, again, ridiculously expensive unless you wanted secret rare copies. But it's a nice rarity boost for the deck if you already only had common copies. And B, it's a very useful card. Now, lots of decks play Rusty Bardish, which obviously can search this card very easily with a small PK package. It's also an extender in sort of your Dark Warrior focused decks, again involving PKs. So, very, very useful card. Was creeping up a little bit in price. Wasn't too expensive, around £5 or £6, but is now very, very cheap, very, very easily accessible. Now we have a very important reprint, which was Emergency Teleport. Now, this was about £8 again, so not the most expensive card. It was at 1, so you could only run 1 copy, so again, it wasn't a big investment, but now a reprint that's very easily accessible, and you don't have to play gold rares anymore, which is arguably the more important factor if you want the cheapest copies of this card. Very, very useful if you want to play Virtual World. It's played in some Shadol builds. Any deck running Psychic Monsters really, really likes this card because it's a free copy of any Psychic Monster in your deck. And it's now much more accessible to everyone. So we've got top 2. Now, you've probably guessed at least what one of these 2 is. But anyway, my second favourite reprint in the set is Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This was a really, really needed reprint. It had only 1 printing, which was what made it so expensive, in dual power as a short print. And then Dragon Link became a massive thing again, and this is one of the best interruptions in the deck because it's a quick effect bounce and it searches any dragon monster from your deck. What more could you want in a card? It can return any card as long as it's in your opponent's turn, so it can dodge removal on your stuff or interrupt your opponent. And then obviously it searches. It was well over £10 and is currently selling for about £2.50. I would really recommend getting this card as quickly as possible because I think it will go up again shortly. So, finally, you've probably guessed this one, but the best reprint for us budget players is, of course, Evenly Matched. It's one of the most powerful going second cards ever printed. It allows you to banish all cards on the field face down until you and your opponent control the same number of cards. If you control no cards, you can activate it from your hand. So it's an incredible going second card. It forces any negation because they have to negate it, or they lose their entire board bar one card. Because, of course, the card is considered to be on the field as it resolved. This card was nearly £20 a copy. It's currently going on eBay for just over 10, so that's a massive 50% price reduction. It may get a bit cheaper. It may creep up again. It's very, very difficult to tell. But if you need Evenly Matched and you have copies and you have the money to afford them now, I would definitely recommend picking them up sooner rather than later, because it's such a good card for going second and in the side deck for when you're made to go second. So that's my list. To go from the top again, we have Orchestrated Return as the honourable mention, Danger Thunderbird, Phantom Knight's Fogblade, Emergency Teleport, Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, and Evenly Matched. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you again soon with some more budget content. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share with anyone.